Hey, what's up, everybody? I think it's still morning, or maybe it's afternoon. I believe it's afternoon. So good afternoon to you. It's been a busy morning or early part of the day, I'd say. And I'm about to cut the yard, but before I cut the yard, I wanted to share a thought with you. And it was a thought that I was having this morning while sitting in the AA class. I was assigned to this AA class by my parole officer. I didn't ever know, but my parole officer said drinking was on my stipulation. Well, not drinking was on my stipulation. I had a mimosa one morning on my way in to report, and she done a UA, and she asked me had I been drinking. I was like, yeah, I had a mimosa this morning. And so anyway, as a result of that, she went into the details of that I wasn't supposed to be drinking this, that, and the other. Mind you, I've been out like almost about 8 years now, and I done had many UAs, many different parole officers. This just happened to be the first one who, I guess, decided to make an issue of it. But whatever that may be, this is a thought that I was having when I was in the AA class. Because I'm gonna tell you, initially, I was thinking of all kind of ways to circumvent the process because I don't have a drinking issue. I don't drink like that. And they want me in the AA, so I'm like, I didn't see it was a waste of time. It's getting into my productivity time. And it's like I don't have a lot of productivity time to lean off into what I consider to be unproductive things. So I gave it some real serious thought though. And I said, well, maybe this was supposed to happen. Maybe I need to go. Maybe it's something there for me to see or hear or receive. It's something, maybe it's something there for me. So I went. I went this morning and I was surprised. I really enjoyed the conversation because for me, I already had made it up in my mind that all I'm gonna do is listen. I just want to listen to everybody. I just want to soak in what everybody say because I believe it's something I come here for. I mean, other than to completely stop drinking. I mean, I do believe I need to completely stop, because I don't look at it as a healthy thing, and I'm gonna get into that. But now, while I'm sitting here, I'm listening. I say, one of the problem is because one of the guys made a statement about how at one time he just used to be there ready to go. And it made me think about this here. It's like a lot of times when we are at work or in different circumstances or situations, a lot of times we're there ready for it to end. I remember when I was young and used to go to church. As soon as I come through the door and sit down, I was ready to go. But the thing is that we find ourselves, whether it be jobs, whether it be incarceration, whether it be uh, anything, we find ourselves sometimes in places that we don't really want to be. And we really just be looking at the time to go. The only thing that's significant is when is it time to go? What time is it now? Because I didn't know how long it's going to be before it's time for me to go. It's the only thing that's important to me. And a lot of times, when all we want to do is leave a situation, to get out of a situation, to not be in a situation, it become like it's like a prison to us. And that's what it made me think about. Cause they have the term prison and then they have the term penitentiary. You see, for an individual, when all they doing is waiting to leave, when all they doing is doing things just to get by so they can leave, that's what the whole objective is, just to leave, then they're in a prison. They are literally in the concept of a prison, whether it be in a relationship, whether it be in a job, whether it be at the store, wherever it be that you don't want to be. You're like in a prison. But when you're somewhere that you don't want to be, however, you make the best of it. You use that opportunity to grow. You see, when you have to be somewhere that you don't want to be, it's no sense in wasting that time, because that is still time in your life that is going to go by that you can't get back. You see, one thing I realized was that we have to make every situation count. We have to make every job count. We have to make every situation where we are like idle, where we are not working, where we whatever. I mean, it's so many different scenarios that we probably can come up with. My point is that we have to make every situation count. There was a time when I was in prison that I always kept a book, because I didn't like to just be sitting there. If I had to wait in prison, you gotta do a lot of waiting on stuff. So I didn't like to just be waiting. You see, when you find yourself just idly waiting, with nothing productive to do with your mind and your thoughts and with that time, how you gonna spend that time? What happens is that idle mind becomes subjected to other energy forces. Some other energy force then take over your idle mind and utilizes it for its own benefit. So this is when we find ourselves then getting caught up in stuff that we don't need to be caught up in. We find ourselves adapting and acquiring a habit or an appetite for something that is counterproductive and that is unhealthy for us in the long run. And you see, that's how I looked at this morning. I said, you know what? I'm not going to try to circumvent the process, because I may realize something about myself that I don't realize. I may get something out of this that is a missing piece of the puzzle. I may find some relationships up in there, because when you're dealing with other human beings, there's always potential for productive network to happen. And what I found in there is people in there because they enjoy the process in there. They enjoy the experience. And that's really what I was thinking, is that we have to reach a point to where we just enjoy the experience sometimes, because that's all life is about. I once heard someone say that once you've become successful in a sense, once you reach that goal, that top, once you're trying to get 100 million, once you get there, you'll find that it wasn't what you thought it was going to be. Once you get there, all of the fun was in the experience of getting there. And that's why we find people that they continue to make other goals, higher goals, because even though it's challenging, the value is in the experience. It's in the process. So that's one of the things I realized when I was sitting in there giving my time to someone else or to something else. At least that's what I was initially thinking, right? Giving my time to something that I said I didn't really feel significance of being a part of. I said, you know what? This don't just happen. Out of all the times that I've been UA'd and no one never said nothing about me, ain't supposed to drink or whatever, right? It happened. So forget why it may happen and, all the technical things that led to me being there. I'm there, and now what? Do I search for all type of crevices, angles to get out of it? Or do I go through the process? You see, when I went, I actually felt rejuvenated. I felt revived in a sense. I felt that I've done something productive this morning, because it was a productive experience. A lot of people in there have been sober for 20 and 30 years. So it's not like they have a problem that they're presently dealing with. They in there because of the experience. They enjoy the fellowship. They enjoy being in a room of like-minded individuals who are set on the same goal and who are actually walking it out. It's empowering to be in that type of company. It's productive, positive energy. And many people, when I was sitting there, I'm like, who knows, man? My stage may be in here too. And I don't mean like me literally talking to somebody in there, but the stage that I'm striving towards may be through somebody in there. See, so my whole point of this little talk is that we have to be slow to want to get out of certain situations. You see, because sometimes when something just seems to happen, you see, we like doors to open that we wanted to open. But you see, sometimes the door opens that we needed to open. However, we didn't even strive to make that door open. That wasn't even the door we were seeking. So therefore, that's not even the door we favoring. You see, we only like and favor doors that we see immediate benefit in. That's what we like. We like those kind of doors to open. But sometimes we gotta look deeper. You know, I say I can see through muddy water. Sometimes we gotta be able to see through muddy water. Because sometimes, man, when you in a positive environment, a positive setting, what wrong could be when you in a positive setting? And that's the major difference. When a door open, if it's a negative setting or if it's a positive setting. Is if it's a taken from you setting or is if it's a given to you setting. That's what we have to determine. You know, that's what we have to determine, because a lot of times all we want to do is give. We feel like we got so much to give the world and give people, to where we only want to receive from people that we pick out to receive it from. When in essence, people who have the most invaluable things to give us are people that we might not even be able to perceive. Remember when I was talking about the conditioning of our perspective, of our perception, the conditioning of that, how sometimes we've been conditioned for the most part to see certain things. And the reason why we don't see what we really need and what we say we want, but what most of what we really need is because we've been conditioned to only strive for the things that we want. I remember I heard Eric Thomas in closing. I heard Eric Thomas say, he told his son, he said, you don't want to be an entrepreneur or a businessman. You only want the appearance of it. You only want what it looks like. And that's what many of us fall in love or have an infatuation with or an attraction towards, the way something looks. We just want what it looks like. We don't want what it takes to get there. Anyway, peace and blessings to y'all. I mean, y'all have a good Thursday and in the coming weekend, because I might not say nothing else this weekend. I likely will, but I might not if I don't. Happy weekend to you. Peace and blessings.